Hi guys, I'm Shmi and today I'm at MTC, the McLaren Technology Centre, where I'm taking a look at the all-new sports series. And this is the 570S, the car that was revealed earlier this year at the New York Auto Show, but it's actually the very first time I've been able to take an up-close look at one. So I'm rather excited about this. Of course, this is a complete game changer for McLaren, this car and the 540C that's since been revealed as well. Brings the sort of sporty performance characteristics and supercar brand to an all-new price point. This car's base retail price being £143,000, but with pretty astonishing performance figures. It maintains the 3.8-litre twin-turbo V8, 570 PS in this car, 540 PS in the 540C. 0 to 60, 3.2 seconds. 0 to 124 miles per hour, just 200 kilometers per hour, in just 9.5 seconds. That's fairly astonishing for a car at this point. It's an all-new design that inherits a lot of characteristics from its big brothers, the P1 and the 650S, although with a new sort of twist on them. So there's a new headlight shape, but again following a similar sort of characteristic to the McLaren logo as we saw before. And this particular car is a fairly highly spec'd version, lots of carbon fibre. So as we look around the front splitter here, you can see this new shape, all sort of aerodynamic based, of course. The front bumper comes out to this point, with sort of guidelines that go up and around each side. That sort of separates the roof canopy into its own sort of section, as well with these flying buttresses over the rear, but will allow it to look very nice in two-tone paint jobs as well. New door mirror stalk design, and this particularly interesting piece here, which is again form-following function, the aerodynamics leading towards the rear vents here. And as I open the door up with this button just on the underside, you can see those shapes. And there's actually a new door mechanism hinge here as well, so the door opens significantly more tightly than it did before, which makes entry and exit easier, but we'll get to that shortly. As I come round the rear, you can see through the mesh here down towards the engine. Lots of open areas for cooling and aerodynamic flow as well. So as you can see around the back, we've got this again here, and a lot of air comes out through that rear light strip, which on its own is a pretty cool piece of design. Swirling around there. There's a pretty cool diffuser back here, carbon fibre, lots of shapes. And the exhaust tips, they actually protrude out because by making them slightly longer, has now allowed the noise they make to be slightly refined. We'll pull the second door up too. And on the inside, it's all based around Monocell 2, the new carbon fibre tub that's been built for this car. So you've got a narrower sill here that goes to a much lower point down towards the footwell, which again helps entry and egress from the vehicle significantly. As we take a look over towards the driver zone, you can see there's a new digital display installed there. And then towards the centre we have the navigation system, which rather than before where it continued all the way through here, has been split into two parts. This sort of floating centre console with all the navigation and controls you expect, and then down below the driving focus controls. So the active dynamics panel with the handling and powertrain options, start button, traction control, manual gear shift, turn on active, launch, and all the sort of normal buttons and features you need for driving. Cup holder just installed behind there. The seats themselves, a new design again, with lots of sort of leather sections, so you can have a lot of bespoke sort of creations, I suppose, with that to create a very sporty looking interior. If I just pull the seat forwards, there's also a parcel shelf back there with some extra space. You can see it's slightly less focused than the bigger car, but that's sort of all to do with the more everyday drivability of the car. And while the doors are up, let's just take a look around the front. A lot of people are no doubt wondering how the 570S compares to the 650S. Well, two big differences: that the 570 doesn't have the proactive chassis management, the new sort of suspension system that McLaren developed for the Super Series, which is the 650S, the 625C, and now the 675 LT. And it also doesn't have the active aero. 650, well, and the other Super Series cars have the rear wing that moves around as well, of course. All sorts of advanced technology features. But what it does do is bring the McLaren brand supercar performance and, let's face it, pretty standout looks to a totally new price point via a pretty exciting new product. What do I think then of the new sports series? Well, of course, this was the first time I've seen it, and I have to say I am really quite impressed. I was intrigued to learn a little bit more about it, and I can't wait to get out and about with one properly, of course. But what it does is bring so much of the wow factor that comes from a supercar to a product that has clearly piqued a lot of interest already. And from my experience, I just know that it's going to be an incredible car to daily drive, but still with loads of excitement, a ton of performance if you take it to the track. So I can't wait until they reach production form. Of course, this is a pre-production car I've been taking a look at here. But just so much has gone into this. And so it's a very, very big product for McLaren. I'm very pleased to have finally been able to see one and take a look around it. Never know, I might jump for one in the future. But what do you think? Just look at this whole engine area with the flying buttresses, the curved rear window, the view through the mesh towards the engine. Amazing piece of design. A little lip spoiler here above the McLaren logo. The way you can see so much in through the rear gearbox just in there. Just trying to take a look around absolutely everything. The wheel design, especially for this car, with the polished calipers there, on P0s. Carbon side skirt, and more sort of shapes, all aerodynamically focused. It's really cool. Look at that section there behind the wheel. Just some seriously neat design that's gone into this car. Take a better look in the headlight. I am very confident this is going to be a very, very successful product. And I'm glad I've been able to put it on camera for you guys and show you around in quite a lot of detail, just to sort of skim through some of the parts we might not have touched on. Park brake, take a look down at the pedals. We have around the seat controls are all on this panel just there. Look in the armrest. It's a little storage area. So, there we go. The new McLaren Sports Series, the 570S. Awesome car, very bright future ahead of it. And I'm very pleased that I've been able to bring my camera here to MTC, the McLaren factory, to take a look and film this little video. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Hopefully we'll have some more cool stuff with the 570S in the not too distant future. That's it for now though. I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers.